Welcome to my Bruiser Trundle guide. This comp is very easy and fun to play. It feels very similar to Skirmisher Jax from set 5 as Trundle gets more AD every time he ults. In this video, I'll go over the build, what items and augments to take, how to play before level 6, during level 6, and then how to play after level 6, what you do if you get contested, then I'll go into some in-depth positioning examples. This is a slow roll comp, meaning we're rolling down to 50 gold every single turn for 3-star units. We will be slow rolling at level 6 with this board. You can take out Caitlyn to play another unit, and also Alawi to play a better bruiser. But the other 4 units are core for the comp. This comp works by having Trundle be the main carry, Vi shredding armor, and she's also a bruiser, Zac is pulling in units from the backline so Trundle can reach them, and Echo is buffing the attack speed of our entire team, making Trundle just go ham with his club. Caitlyn is in there to snipe off backliners, and Alawi is there to be a bruiser bot. You will slow roll with this board until you hit at least Trundle 3-star, and your 3-star priority is Trundle, Vi, Echo, then Zac. You will replace Alawi with Dr. Mundo once you find him, so do not 3-star your Alawi. Once you hit Trundle 3-star, you want to level up to 7. Here you will add in Lysandra for 3 Chemtech. Another option is also to go for 4 Scrap if you hit Janna by taking out Caitlyn and adding in both Blitz and Janna. At level 8 and 9 you have a lot of different options on what to add in, and I will cover that in the post level 6 part of the video. Trundle is the primary carry for this comp, so we prioritize making items for him first. He has one core item, and that is BT. It will heal him up from the damage he is taking. Since he gets a ton of AD from his spell, he will also heal a ton with this item. If you are not able to make BT, one option is to make double Hodge as the first and second item instead. The second option is to take a bunch of healing augments like Celestial Blessing and Thrill of the Hunt to let Trundle heal at least a little bit. But this comp is significantly worse without BT. The second item for Trundle wants to be either Rageblade or Hurricane. Rageblade is really good at stacking up at Trundle's attack speed. This will let him hit fast, but more importantly, it will let him generate mana quicker so he can ult multiple times during a fight, and therefore get insane amounts of AD. Hurricane scales incredibly well with his spell, as the second bolt deals a percentage of Trundle's AD. This increases his damage output by a ton and also scales well into the fight. The third item for Trundle can be RFC, Hodge, IE, Giant Slayer, QSS, or Titan's Resolve. All of these are great, so make whichever you can, but my favorite is RFC, QSS, and Titans. But if you aren't great at positioning, QSS will be the best third option for you. After we have itemized Trundle, we want to itemize Echo. He wants Morello, Frozen Heart, Spear of Sojin, and Deathcap. Tank items go in either Vi or Zac, depending on which you're closer to 3-starring. These are items like Bramble, Warmogs, Declaw, and Redemption. A great support item to make is Banshee's Claw, Zeke's, or Chalice to further buff up Trundle and our team. The best augments to take for this comp are Junkyard, Bruiser's Heart, Emblem, or Soul, Shrug It Off, Titanic Force, Trade Sector, Knife's Edge, Golden Ticket, or Featherweights. Titanic Force is by far the best as it makes all bruisers gain insane amount of AD. Featherweights is also insane as it will give Trundle a bunch of attack speed. Junkyard is great as we get a lot of items as we're running Scrap for the entire game, and Knife's Edge is also decent as all your units are in the front 2 rows anyways. The carousel priority for this comp is Cloak, Belt, Chain, then Bow. The reason why Cloak is first pick is because BT uses a cloak, Hurricane uses a cloak, and QSS uses a cloak. In addition, Dragonclaw is a good item, so this comp doesn't mind getting a lot of cloaks. Since this comp consists mostly of 2-cost units, we can find the units in the early game. The best opener for this comp is to have Trundle with either Bruiser or Scraps to back him up. Other openers that work are Ezreal with Innovators, Garen with Protectors, or Quinn with preferably a Bruiser frontline. Once we have our opener, we need to make items, but since this comp is so reliant on BT, we can't make any items that use sword or cloak components. So the ones that we can slam are Banshee's Claw, Bramble Vest, Hodge, Redemption, Sunfire Cape, Warmogs, Deathcap, Morello, Frozen Heart, or TG. Since we are slow rolling at level 6, the goal is to be level 6 on 3-5 with at least 50 gold or more, so we can level aggressively in the early game if we want to. But your early game strategy will depend a lot on how good your opener is. Most of the time you will play for a win streak if you find Trundle early, as he is a great early and mid game unit. If you want to learn more about how to play the early game, check out my guide, where I go in-depth on that subject. At the Crux round, you should have more direction towards the comp. The general requirements to play Trundle is to have at least one component for BT, and we also like to have a couple of the Bruiser units already, as it will make the transition into the slow roll board a lot easier. If you are on a win streak, you can level to 6 on 3-1 or 3-2 to maintain the streak, and then eco to 50 gold and start slow rolling. If you're on a loss streak, you might have to roll a bit at level 6 on 3-2 to stabilize if you are 60 HP or less here. Once you are level 6 with 50 gold, we start slow rolling, meaning we roll down to 50 gold every single turn. This is to maximize our odds of hitting 3-star units. Our 3-star priority is Trundle, Vi, Echo, then Zac, meaning that if you need to sell a unit for bench space, you sell Zac first, then Echoes. But in some cases, if you're really close to Zac but far off of Echo, you can sell off Echo as you're not going to 3-star him that game. By stage 4-1, you will generally need to have at least Trundle 2-star and some of the other bruisers 2-star to be stable. And by stage 5-1, you will generally need at least 3-star Trundle or 2 of the other 3-stars in order to be stable. Sometimes if you are healthy you can greed, but in general, you can go below 50 gold here in order to hit one of those. Once you hit Trundle 3-star, you can level up to either 7, 8, or 9 depending on how much HP you have. Sometimes you can stay level 6 and keep slow rolling for Vi, Echo, and Zac if you're really close to all of them and uncontested, but most of the time, just save the Vi's, Echoes, and Zacs you have on the bench and push levels instead. You can also just hit those 3-star later on future rolldowns. When you hit level 7, you add in Lysandra for 3 Chemtech if you hit Dr. Mundo, and there is a lot of attack damage based carries in the lobby. 4 Scrap can be good if you hit Janna, and there are not great items to slam with the rest of your components. In that case, put 1 component on Echo, Janna, and Blitz to get the full effect. At level 8 and 9, you can add in Jinx if you hit Vi 3-star, Sister on Vi 3 makes her hit the backline with her spell, which is a ton of damage. If you did not hit Vi 3-star, Yuumi will be the best option to add in for Scholar and for great amounts of CC. You can also replace Vi with Tahm Kench if you did not 3-star Vi. Tahm Kench can also replace Zac if you didn't 3-star him, and you do not need Chemtech. If you need more damage, you can add in both Jinx and Urgot for 2 twin shots and 2 backline DPS carries. 6 Bruisers are usually never worth running in this comp if you have to run Illaoi or Cho'Gath to get that, as those 2 units either suck or take up too much space. If the Socialite Hex is in a good spot for Trundle, adding in Taric and Seraphine can also be great. These heal up our frontline, and Bruisers get great value out of that. Victor can be good to add in if you need to shred armor, and Jace can also be good to shred armor, and he is also an enforcer. There are a lot of options there, so scouting is crucial before you roll down so you know what you are looking for. And if it was a bit overwhelming, I recommend you just end up with this board once you get to level 9, where you add in Yuumi at level 8 and Jace at level 9, and Jinx will replace Blitzcrank once you find her. If you get contested, what you do depends a little on how you get contested. You can get contested by someone else trying to play the same comp, or you can get contested on Echo by people playing reroll assassins, or you can get contested by Chemtech Bruiser players. Getting contested by assassins or Chemtech is not that big of a deal. It will just be very hard to hit Echo and Zac 3-star. In that case, this comp is less favorable to play. But if you get a good opener and good augments, you can definitely go for it. If you get contested by another reroll Trundle player, things are not looking great. You have 2 options from there. The first one is to use Trundle as an item carrier and then pivot into another AD comp. The best one to transition into is Chemtech Urgot, as it uses a lot of the same units and items, but pivoting into Yone or Jhin can also work. The second option is to contest, but know that you will most likely go 7th or 8th if you do this. In order to do this, you need to be farther ahead than your contester, and you also need to constantly be checking how close the other player is to hitting Trundle 3-star. If you start and get close, you have to roll down in order to hit before him. First, I will go over general positioning with this comp, then I will go over some in-depth positioning examples. General positioning looks like this. Here we have Zac in the corner to potentially hook in carries that are in corners. On the other side, we have Dr. Mundo. His spell regenerates a lot of his HP and therefore makes him a very effective tank. Since he will be on the outskirt, he's tanking most of the damage to let Trundle stay alive longer. Vi is next to Trundle to shred armor of enemy units. Trundle wants to be put wherever he cannot get CC'd or focused down by enemy carries, which will be closer to the middle in the majority of cases. Keep in mind that sometimes you have to move him down a row in order for him to not get targeted. Janna wants to be positioned on second row to push enemy frontliners down. This will make it more likely for Trundle to chase them into the backline and then be able to target enemy carries before getting through all the frontline. Echo targets the largest clump of enemy units, and we want to have Trundle in that area if possible to boost his attack speed, which is another reason to put Trundle closer to the middle as that is where most enemies clump up. Now let's move on to some in-depth positioning examples. Against the first guy, the big threat is Katarina. Trundle is positioned to target the assassins first. Vi and Mundo are being Katarina baits. Janna is getting pulled by Blitzcrank so that she doesn't get one-shot by assassins. Zack is positioned 3 hexes away from where the Katarina lands. Hopefully he pulls her in, although he will not be able to do this every time due to the fight RNG. Against the second guy, the big threat is Jhin. Blitzcrank is positioned to hook in Orianna. Her ult can CC a ton of our units since they are all melee, so we want to take her down ASAP. Trundle is backlined to target the Blitzcrank pull. Janna is positioned to push away the frontline, giving Jhin less sniper value. Dr. Mundo is getting hooked by the enemy Blitzcrank, and Zack is positioned to pull in the Jhin. Vi is positioned to shred as much armor as possible off of the bodyguards. Against the third guy, the big threat is Lux and Vex. Vi, Mundo, and Zack will be targeting Vex, therefore creating a funnel to the backline for Trundle. This way, his closest target will be Ziggs. Janna is positioned to shove Vex into the enemy backline, causing our tanks to get access to the enemy carries a lot easier. Blitz has to hook in somebody, and we don't want to hook in Ziggs as we need him to funnel Trundle into the backline. He is a bit of a negative unit here, but pulling in Malzahar to our own backline is not the worst. Thank you so much for watching. If you learned something, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Comment down below what video you want me to make next, and if you want to get better at TFT, we got over 4,000 other players there who are hungry to climb, and if you want to get coached by me, the information is over in the Discord server as well. So take care and see you in the next video.